So we're here in, again, ScreenFlow, as I talked about before. So some of you might recognize in this very first scene, I used one of the textures that I gave away for free. It's one of the bonuses. It's in there. And in fact, the second one also uses a bonus background texture. But after that, I started to use images that went with the subject matter. So for example, this one says, make a joyful noise to all the earth. So I looked for an image that it kind of was all the earth. And I just happened to have one in there, and then I started to kind of go and so this one says serve the Lord with gladness, so she looks very glad, she's happy. And the next one I used a picture of this, it says come in his presence with singing, and so he looks like he's singing, and so forth. And so I want to just kind of go first over how simple and easy the process was for me to do this. And one of the things that I did was I used Creative Commons. So Creative Commons, let's go to Creative Commons. I thought I had it open. Here we go, Creative Commons. And you want to go to search.creativecommons.org, and you'll see that you have something like this. Now, I use Pixabay most of the time, but you can click on some of these other options. But what you want to make sure is you have this selected. I want something that can use for commercial purposes and modify, adapt, and build upon. Now, let me say a word about this. Now, if you are doing something for a big company, let's say Apple or I don't know, just pick any Fortune 500 company, and they're paying thousands of dollars to create something, do not use this. Do not use Creative Commons images unless you're just doing a demo for them and you're trying to get the idea across, which definitely is something worth doing. But if you are doing something that someone paid you thousands of dollars to do not use Creative Commons images. But if you're doing something like a pet project or a local market thing where you're not going to make much money, where there's not that much money at risk, then Creative Commons is perfectly fine. And I used it for this. Now, I also again mentioned I've used stuff like this, free assets, whenever I'm doing a quick demo for a client. And Kinetic Text Animator is perfect for that because you can do stuff fast. You can get an idea down, show it to them, and if then they approve the budget, then you can hire the photographer to do the imagery. But so without further ado, so a lot of times when I was doing my video, it was very simply, I can go in, it looks like I have to hurry up. I got only 6% left. But that's fine because Kinetic Text Animator is up to the task. So like in this very last one, I just wanted to have a backdrop for the Psalm 100. This is the very end of the video. So all I had to do was go into Creative Commons and just type in Bible and do a search, and boom, I get a lot of images. And so it just doesn't really matter what it was. When I was at the very beginning, when I wanted to have happy images for the, I can get that, So whatever the subject matter is, and the great thing about this is, whenever you're doing a search, you want to search in the biggest search engine or library that you can. So now a lot of these, if I know that I'm going to use these over again, I might download them, keyword them, put them in my local directory, so I can search from them directly within Kinetic Text Animator. And a lot of you have taken advantage of some of the collections that basically have gone through and curated these to find the good stuff and just kind of ignores the not so good stuff. There's a lot of good stuff in this particular one, but some of this like cheaper stuff you may not want to have to bother wading through. And so that's what those collections sort of get you. If someone has taken the time to do a little bit of the curating and everything. But when you're really in the midst of a project and you're looking for a specific image, doing a search like this is great. Now we're going to try to build Pixabay directly in to Kinetic Text Animator in a future version. So this is something that you'll be able to do directly in. But what I simply did was, once I found an image that I liked, I clicked on it. I've actually registered. They have a little thing where they say, hey, send us a cup of coffee to support us. I actually did that, $5. You can do that if you want. You do not do that. I just like to do it just because I feel like, hey, they gave me some value. I'm going to give them some money. But you're under no obligation to do that. It's free. So I click on free download. I'm not going to do it now. And then once I go into my downloads directory, I just drag that onto the stage of Kinetic Text Animator, and then add my text animation on top of it. And it's really that. And after I do the text animation, like in this particular one, I think when I first did it, I did it at a smaller size, and I didn't really like that smaller size. So I did it again, and until I liked it, and so forth. So There we go. I think it wasn't catching that. So I did this a couple of times, and then I just finally was like, okay, I'll just make it the full size there, and it looked fine. And once I did that a couple of times, went to the export, exported it out to MP4. After it was done, I just dragged and dropped it into my into ScreenFlow. Here, let's go to the very end here, and just after that, I just matched it up with my music. So this is the last one. And you notice that I've actually kind of split it. I wanted it to last longer where it was static, and that's one of the reasons why I used this. That's one of the benefits of a tool like ScreenFlow, is that it does very easy kind of trimming and cutting and expand. This is a freeze frame right here in the middle, and so forth. So I'm not going to go over that, but the point is that after in that whole process to do this very end, I remember when I was doing this, I'll embarrass myself. I had to go to the bathroom. I had coffee. I was in a hurry, and so it was like boom, and so between the process of doing the search, making the animation, exporting it out, and importing it in, I was able to not have to change my pants. Let's put it that way. How about that? So the point is that, it can be done quickly. And it really is something that is super easy and fun. I was able to, in fact, I was able to get this video done and get in a workout and be in time for a meeting or an obligation that I had early afternoon, all, just very, very efficiently. So I'm very, very excited about that. And in the next video, so I want to talk about how I was not only able to do that quickly and efficiently, but I was also able to implement, because I was able to do this fast, I was also able to implement some of the things that I've been taught in video design school, that really make videos more effective. So I'm going to talk about that in the next video.